Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the most explosive and heartbreaking updates from the glamorous yet treacherous world of Los Angeles fashion. Today is a thrilling day to unpack the mounting tension and dark betrayals that are setting the stage for an absolute corporate apocalypse. The catastrophic fallout from the violent brawl at the Bikini Bar has left a permanent, devastating scar on the landscape of Los Angeles. Will Spencer, once a young man driven by a passionate and pure love for Electra Forrester, has been completely shattered by the weight of his recent actions and the agonizing consequences that followed. After being shockingly arrested for assaulting the revered Forrester patriarch, Eric Forrester, Will's world completely imploded. The horrifying image of Eric falling to the ground with a severe black eye was the final nail in the coffin for Will's relationship. Electra, utterly horrified and disgusted by the sheer brutality of the incident, permanently disowned him, choosing to align herself with her family and R.J. Forrester. Stripped of his freedom, his reputation, and the woman he loved more than anything, Will has descended into a terrifying, downward spiral of alcohol, isolation, and an all-consuming, venomous hatred. This is no longer the Will Spencer who desperately pleaded for a second chance at the beach house. This is a young man whose heartbreak has mutated into a dangerous, calculated thirst for vengeance. The agonizing realization that R.J. Forrester deliberately ducked during that fateful altercation, intentionally allowing Eric to take the devastating blow while manipulating the narrative to paint Will as an unhinged monster, has ignited a fire within the Spencer heir. Will is drowning his sorrows in whiskey, but beneath the intoxicating haze, a dark and ruthless clarity is beginning to form. He realizes that playing by the rules and begging for forgiveness has only left him empty-handed and publicly humiliated. The pain of Electra's rejection has transformed into a chilling resolve to destroy the man who orchestrated his downfall. Operating in the shadows of this emotional wreckage is none other than Dollar Bill Spencer. Bill, who recently suffered a physical assault at the hands of a furious Ridge Forrester, is reveling in the escalating chaos. Rather than reprimanding his son for the violent outburst and subsequent arrest, Bill offers implicit, dark encouragement. He visits Will not with paternal disappointment, but with the cold, calculating pride of a corporate titan passing down his ruthless legacy. Bill advises Will to completely separate his business ambitions from his personal emotions, insisting that the Forrester family's hypocrisy must be punished. With Bill acting as the devil on his shoulder, Will is empowered to embrace his Spencer heritage, learning to weaponize his pain and strike back at his enemies with merciless precision. The primary target of Will's newfound wrath is R.J. Forrester. R.J. has positioned himself as the innocent victim, the golden boy of Forrester Creations, and the protective hero standing by Electra's side. Will is determined to completely overthrow R.J. at the fashion house, tearing down the pristine facade that R.J. uses to manipulate those around him. Will knows that R.J. is currently capitalizing on the massive void left by Hope Logan's shocking defection to Logan Creations. R.J. has ambitiously pitched a bold new youth demographic line to Zende Forrester Domings, strategically placing Electra as the face and lead visionary of the brand. To Will, this is not just a corporate maneuver. It is a direct, personal insult, and he intends to sabotage the project before it ever sees the light of day. To execute this high-stakes corporate espionage, Will needs an operative on the inside, and he finds the perfect, willing pawn in Melissa Dillon. Dillon, whose calculated seduction of a vulnerable Will recently culminated in a passionate night together at the beach house, is desperate to secure her status as the next Mrs. Will Spencer. Her ambition and obsessive desire for Will's validation make her easily manipulatable. Will exploits Dillon's misguided devotion, transforming her from a mere romantic rebound into a highly effective corporate spy. Dillon, who is currently working closely with R.J. and Electra at Forrester Creations, has unprecedented access to the highly confidential inner workings of the company's upcoming projects. The tension within the walls of Forrester Creations reaches a boiling point as Melissa Dillon begins her dangerous game of espionage. Operating right under the noses of Ridge, Steffy, and Electra, Dillon carefully navigates the executive offices, her heart pounding with the thrill of the betrayal. Her specific mission is to steal the proprietary sketches and strategic marketing plans for RJ and Electra's highly anticipated youth line. Every smile she flashes at Electra, every casual conversation she has with RJ is a calculated move to lower their defenses. Dillon successfully photographs the confidential designs, securing the exact ammunition Will needs to cripple Forrester's next major launch and humiliate RJ on a spectacular scale. Armed with the stolen sketches, Will Spencer begins to orchestrate a corporate sabotage that will shake Forrester Creations to its very core. By gaining access to RJ's creative vision, Will can strategically leak the concepts to the press or hand them directly to Katie Logan and Bill Spencer, allowing Logan Creations to preemptively launch a remarkably similar line. This calculated strike is designed to render RJ's ambitious project entirely obsolete, devastating N's hopes for a successful collaboration and humiliating Ridge Forrester's golden boy in front of the entire fashion industry. The psychological warfare of letting RJ know his prized project has been compromised from the inside is a masterstroke of Spencer ruthlessness. However, Will knows that destroying RJ's corporate ambitions is simply not enough to satisfy his burning hatred. He needs to obliterate RJ's personal reputation as well. Will understands that RJ's power over Electra stems from his carefully curated image as a dependable, loyal, and morally upright gentleman. To strip RJ of this power, Will decides to orchestrate a devastating romantic scandal that will completely shatter RJ's good boy persona. Will utilizes his vast Spencer resources and perhaps even Dillon's inside knowledge of RJ's schedule to set a sinister and inescapable trap for his bitter rival. The execution of this smear campaign is nothing short of diabolical. Will deliberately orchestrates a highly compromising situation, potentially hiring someone to seduce or corner RJ in a deeply inappropriate setting. Will ensures that the relentless Los Angeles paparazzi are perfectly positioned to capture every damning moment. When the flashing bulbs go off, RJ is caught in a fabricated web of deceit, appearing to the world as a cheating, manipulative scoundrel. The scandalous photographs are immediately leaked to the tabloids, creating a media explosion that instantly goes viral, overshadowing any positive press Forrester Creations was hoping to generate. The fallout from the orchestrated scandal is apocalyptic. The media descends upon RJ Forrester, tearing apart his pristine reputation and painting him as a hypocritical playboy. Ridge and Steffy are thrust into yet another extreme damage control nightmare, desperately trying to manage the catastrophic PR disaster while still reeling from the financial and emotional blow of Hope's defection to Logan. The Forrester family is left scrambling, unable to comprehend how their golden boy could be involved in such a sordid and public disgrace. Will Spencer watches the chaos unfold from the shadows of his beach house, a cold, triumphant smirk replacing the tears of his recent heartbreak. This reckless and devastating retaliation by Will Spencer pushes the already volatile blood feud between the Spencer and Forrester families past the point of no return. Ridge Forrester, realizing that his son has been targeted and publicly humiliated by the Spencers, unleashes a volcanic rage that threatens to consume the entire city. Bill Spencer, on the other hand, is immensely satisfied with his son's ruthless evolution, eagerly preparing his media empire to fan the flames of RJ's scandal. The two powerful patriarchs are now locked in an all-out corporate and personal war, with every member of their respective families caught in the terrifying, destructive crossfire. At the very center of this catastrophic war stands Electra Forrester, completely paralyzed by a devastating and impossible dilemma. As she watches RJ's reputation crumble before her eyes and sees their highly anticipated youth lying compromised by corporate theft, the horrifying truth begins to dawn on her. She pieces together the clues and realizes that the architect of this absolute destruction is none other than Will Spencer. The sheer magnitude of Will's revenge plot leaves Electra breathless, forcing her to confront the terrifying reality of the monster he has become in the wake of their bitter breakup. Electra is now violently torn between two irreconcilable worlds. On one side is her soaring career at Forrester Creations, her loyalty to her injured grandfather Eric, and her newfound partnership with a now disgraced RJ. On the other side is the dark, twisted, and undeniable pull she still feels toward Will Spencer. She sees the lengths to which Will is willing to go, the absolute devastation he is willing to cause, all stemming from the agonizing pain of losing her. The realization that Will's terrifying transformation is a direct result of her rejection creates a crushing psychological burden that threatens to break her completely. As the flashing cameras continue to hound RJ and the Forrester empire bleeds from the inside out, Electra must make the ultimate, life-altering choice. Will she stand fiercely with her family and fight to destroy the man who is actively burning her world to the ground? Or will she surrender to the intoxicating, dangerous allure of a man who loves her so fiercely that he is willing to orchestrate an apocalypse just to prove his power? Will Spencer has shed his innocence, fully embracing the ruthless legacy of his father, and in doing so, he has ensured that the glamorous world of Los Angeles fashion will forever be stained by his vengeance.